Welcome to our reading and writing time, first grade friends. For our reading and writing time, you will need to make sure that you have your Grace Reader, your Kitty Cat Unit 6 workbook, pencil, crayons, eraser, and your whiteboard supplies. We're going to start first with the reading portion. In our book today, we're going to start a new one titled Grace. Grace is our main character, and Grace lives on a farm. I want you to think about if you've ever visited a farm, if you know someone who lives on a farm, or if you've seen a show on television or the internet about a farm. Think about some of the animals that might live on the farm. Think about some of the things that grow on the farm. Think about some things that you might do on a farm. And we're going to be learning about Grace and her family who live on a farm. For today's reading, our first story is going to be titled Mr. Spencer and the Rabbits, and it's going to be found on page 2. And I want you to be paying careful attention as you read this story on your own, or if you need help, you can read it with an adult. We have lots of words in our story today that have the S sound. Be looking out for the word Grace, Spencer, nice, raced, fence, force, farmhouse, else. And then also be looking for some R sounding words like our pirate sound. You'll see the word farm, garden, and harvest. And then we have 3 challenge words I want you to be thinking about and looking for. Eggplants. If you don't know what those are, maybe you can find a picture of one on the internet. The word problems, and also the word hornet. So as you're reading your story, Mr. Spencer and the Rabbits, I want you to be looking and listening for those S sounding words, for those R sounding words, and then for those 2-syllable words, eggplants, problems, and hornet. When you finish reading the story, Mr. Spencer and the Rabbits, you're going to take your Kitty Cat workbook and you're going to turn to page 6.4. Remember our numbers up here at the top, and you have a multiple choice question to answer. You have a sentence that you need to answer. Remember to use a capital at the beginning and a period at the end. If you'd like, you can challenge yourself to write down the page number where you find that answer. You also have 2 multiple choice questions on the back, questions 3 and questions 4. So as you're reading about Mr. Spencer and the Rabbits, our first story in our Grace Reader, be looking for those S and R words. Be thinking about who is in our story, where our story is taking place, and what is happening in our story. You can pause the video now and do the reading portion of your work, and then come back and we will talk about our new spelling words for this week and also do some writing practice. All right, friends, we are going to introduce our new spelling words for this week. I have them written on the board here. You will notice that our words contain a lot of S sounds made with a C, made with an S, and we also have some words that have the Z sound in them. So our first word is sun, S-U-N. Our next word is kiss, K-I-S-S. Our next word is scent, C-E-N-T. Next we have prince, P-R-I-N-C-E. Here we have a word with a Z, Z-I-P, zip. Jazz, J-A-Z-Z. Pigs, P-I-G-S. And our tricky word here, H-E-R-E. So those are our new spelling words for this week. You can use your whiteboard to practice writing these. You can maybe go outside and write them with sidewalk chalk, or maybe you want to write them with some markers or crayons. But I encourage you to practice writing your spelling words so that you can get really good at spelling these words that have the S and Z sound. Our final piece of writing today, first grade friends, is found in our Kitty Cat workbook, and we're going to start on 6.2, and for 6.2 you will need 2 different colors. You may either use crayons, colored pencils, or markers. And you will notice we have a box several boxes with lots of words on them, and each box contains a word that has the letter C in it. But if you remember from earlier in the year, we talked about how C can be a secret agent. The letter C can sometimes make the k sound, but sometimes it can be sneaky like a spy and make the s sound. So your job on this workbook page today is to read each word. And if the letter C in that word is making the k sound, I want you to color that box one color. But if the C in the word is making the s sound, I want you to use your second color. And see how many k sounding words you can find, and see how many s sounding words you can find. You may pause the video now and complete this page, and then come back and join us for 6.3. Right. And 6.3 has 2 pages to it. The first 6.3, you will notice a page that has lots of boxes with words in them, and the words are either spelled with C, CE, or SE. So your first job is to have you or an adult help you to tear this page out, because you're going to need to cut out neatly each one of these words in their boxes. Once you get all of the words cut out, you're going to turn to your next 6.3, and you're going to glue those words down in the correct category. So if your word has a C or a CE in it, you're going to glue it in one of these first 2 columns. But if your word has an SE in it, you're going to glue it in this last column. So we're working on the sound being made either with C, CE, or SE. Again, if you have any questions about any of our reading or writing work, you can message Mrs. Hoffman, or you can ask an adult to help you. Have a great time reading and writing.